Good evening, students. Today, we will be discussing a very important topic for the upcoming examinations like miscellaneous and clerkship. So, let us start it with the point that is one nation, one election. Before I start this video, I gonna tell you in this series there are certain topics like very important topics which are likely to come in the upcoming examinations like miscellaneous clerkship and WBCS maybe. So we're gonna discuss each and every topic one by one, like this way, just in an essay way, just breaking into like key features and then significance and challenges. Then it comes, once we're done with challenges, then we're gonna go for balanced perspective, then finally conclusion. If we prepare every topic in this way, then we will be able to complete all the topics and we will be able to write down any essay later, or you may say report with this following details. So without any further delay, let us start this topic. So in this video we're going to discuss about one nation one election. You might know like this topic is very much in the news for a few days because the bill got passed, and it is being discussed in the parliament. So what is it actually? The one nation one election bill is a proposed bill which is conducting elections for the Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly simultaneously to streamline the electoral process. Like the Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, both elections are going to be held at the same time, that is simultaneously. And what is the reason behind it? Just to streamline the process. And this was in vogue in 1951 to 1967. Earlier it was in vogue, but later it was disrupted due to some premature dissolutions of legislatures. Now again there is a talk that this will come into effect. So let us see what happens in coming days. So let us get to know about the key features. What are the main features of this coming bill? Let us know about it. Number one is unified electoral calendar. What we will have is electoral calendar that is unified, that Lok Sabha and state assembly elections will be held together. Number two is meter mechanism. What is it? Provisions to address early resolutions. If there is any early or premature dissolutions, such as president's rule or synchronized by elections, that will be taken care of by this bill. So that is also a positive thing. And finally, what is the feature? That is election commission oversight. The Election Commission of India would implement the necessary framework. So there will be obviously SOPs how to conduct this and all. So this will be the key features of this bill. And then we get to know about the significance. What are the significance that positivities that we are going to face through this bill? So let us study about that. Number one, the positive significance that is going to is cost efficiency. What is cost efficiency? 2019 Niti Aayog report highlighted the high financial cost of staggered elections. Simultaneous elections could significantly reduce this burden. We especially see in elections the government comes with a high budget. They have to spend a lot of amount to have these elections done. So this time if those elections will be done at the same time, so there will be less amount of expenditure for the government. So that is a positive aspect we can see through this significance. And the next one is governance of the continuity. What is this governance continuity? That is frequent enforcement of the model code of conduct that hampers development projects. As we see, whatever project is ongoing or whatever work is ongoing, if their election is going to be held, then the MCC, which is also known as model code of conduct, which is going to be uh, going to be uh, held, and for that there is going to be hamper in the ongoing projects. So there will be positivity about this was one of the major problems that is going to be sorted. Synchronization ensures uninterrupted policy implementations. So if there is synchronization between this both elections, so that will ensure that there will be no interruptions just to implement all this ongoing projects and all. Number three, what is that? That is voter turnout. What is that voter turnout? In 2019, general election had higher voter participation than many state elections, suggesting synchronized polls might boost turnout. So there we will be able to see there will be participation of more participants rather than doing it just in a dissipated way. So if we do it in a simultaneous way, so there will be more participants, and that is what is actually. And the number four is policy stability. What is this policy stability? Governments can focus on long-term reforms rather than just populist measures driven by frequent elections. So if there is just one time election, so the government will be able to focus on the long-term reforms which will help for the development projects of the government and a lot of things, rather than doing just a small measures of driven benefits for the by the frequent elections. And number fifth, which is also important, that is national focus. What is it? Encourages voters to prioritize national and developmental agendas over narrow local concerns. So through these elections, we will government will be able to prioritize national and development agendas rather than just interfering in narrow local concerns. Obviously, they are important, but what more important is national issues, which are needed to be addressed first. Then we have come to the local ones. But as we already know, everything comes with some challenges, so this is no exception of that. So let us study about the challenges which governments are going to be faced. Number one, that is federal issue. As you already know, India is a federal nation. Regional parties argue that simultaneous elections could marginalize state specific issues, undermining federalism. Yeah, that is true. So there are certain problems coming from the states which will be undermined. That is one problem. The state specific issues will be marginalized. That has to be taken care of. Like we already know, states like Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, as we can see, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal often vote differently in national and state elections, reflecting distinct local concerns. As there is that problem already in states like Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. Second problem, what is it? That is legal hurdle. There is legal complications. What is it actually? Synchronization requires amending constitutional provisions. If you want to synchronize this, then we have to amend some constitutional provisions which are already there, like Article 83, 85, 172, 174, 356, and 324. And these are the articles which are needed to be amended in order to go with this. And we need to adjust some of the state legislature's terms also. And number three, what is it? Just a midterm crisis. What is midterm crisis? Mechanisms like simultaneous by elections or president's rule could dilute democratic accountability. So there will be certain problem that may come from the president's rule that can dilute democratic accountability. That has to be taken care of also in this case. So what is the fourth challenge that is going to happen? That is logistical complexity. What is it actually? Conducting elections on such a scale requires substantial administrative resources, including security deployment. So if the government is going to have both elections at the same time, then the government must ensure to security deployment to each and every places where the elections are being conducted, and at the same time there will be logistical complexity in a mass level. So that has to be taken care of by the government as well. And what is the fifth positivity that we are going to face, that is sorry, challenge that we're going to face, is diversity and representation. As you already know, our India, which is just a diverse country, a unity in diversity, so there is a challenge. The dominance of national parties might overshadow regional voices, potentially reducing political inclusivity. So obviously, the national importance are going to be uh, over than the regional issues. So dominance of national party can overshadow some regional voices. There will be that challenge for sure. So, if we have to give our argument for the balanced perspective, what will be it? There will be proponents, sites like South Africa, Sweden, which synchronized elections promote stability. We, as you can see, in South Africa, Sweden, there is already this synchronized election through which they have gained stability. Critics have also said that argue that India's political diversity and federal structure are unique. Like India's are politically diversified, and it has a federal structure which is unique, a phased introduction. So what we can do, what the government can do, they can introduce it in a phased way, starting with the synchronizing election in some states, can test feasibility with major disruptions without major disruptions, like the pilot scheme. If things come in a positive way, then the government, the national government can uh, just apply this throughout our nation. So there will be that, and that can be taken care of. And the final one thing, that is conclusion. If we have to conclude this, what will be it? The one nation, one election will promise us cost efficiency. Through this, what we can get cost efficiency, governance stability. So there will be a stability in governance during elections actually, and there will be reduced electoral fatigues. So if elections are held just periodically, then there is so much of turmoil and fatigue during this process. And if the government is having this simultaneously, so there will be less fatigue than earlier. However, implementing it in India's diverse polity requires constitutional reforms, robust framework. This is the important constitutional reforms, robust framework for midterm contingencies. So, if there is any premature dissolution, so there has to be some sort of constitutional reforms. There have to be some sort of constitutional reforms, robust frameworks for midterm contingencies, and political consensus has to be there. So a phased approach can strike a balance between the efficiency and inclusivity. So this was all about our one nation one bill. So this was important for miscellaneous and clerkship. So please go through my channel and please like this topic. And if you want to gain more topics like this, do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Signing off.